Welcome back, my wonderful people. Thank you for joining us. There is something that happened today, something transpired between Tinubu and Peter Obi. Peter Obi made a comment today. He says, "It is not your turn." Obi tells Tinubu, and Obi have said this after saying that Tinubu on his own now said his own. Ignore Peter Obi. Tinubu not withdrawing from race on health grant. Alright, my wonderful people, let's dive into the matter. As it stands now, the two have spoken as the Labour Party presidential flag bearer Peter Obi have said next year's presidential election is not based on ethnicity and religion, hence it is nobody's turn. Based on this, speaking at the Labour Party's leadership retreat in Abuja on Monday, Mr. Peter Obi promised to sign a performance agreement with the Nigerian Labour Congress to make sure that ideas generated at the retreat are followed to the letter. Apparently referring to the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, Obi insisted that since there was no place where Christians or Muslims buy things cheaper, or Yoruba or Hausas have free light than others in the country, then the coming election is about character and competence and not anybody's turn. On this, the Labour Party standard bearer said, "We will do this retreat now. After election, we will do another one. Election next year will definitely not be based on ethnicity. We have had it before. It would not be on religion. There is no place that Christianity or Christians buy things cheaper. There is no place that Muslims buy things cheaper. It will not be by my turn agenda. It is nobody's turn. It must not be very connection. Election next year will be based on character and trust. It must be based on competence." The presidential candidate also stated, saying that corruption is pervasive in Nigeria because leaders are involved. If a leader is not stealing and the family around him are not stealing, we will reduce corruption by 70%. Saying this, he said, "As I was governor for 8 years, there is no where money is missing." Meanwhile, I am in his retreat to listen. Let us put in writing when we succeed. We must be around to say this is what we have agreed on. When if he wouldn't achieve 100%, we must have made sacrifices. My wonderful people, in his welcome address, Barrister Julius Abua, National Chairman, Labour Party, said Nigeria now a golden opportunity to refine how politics should be played, saying that the present challenge we are due to failure of leadership. Unto this, our leaders does not have what it takes to drive leadership and development. This is what has been lacking. No one is safe. Insecurity has taken over everything. Indeed, needs to be done, and urgently something have to be done. And he said that he is happy that Nigerians are ready for the real change, not like the APC change in 2015. Meanwhile, he said also that he was happy that Nigerians are joining the Labour Party on a daily basis and urge NLC, Trade Union Congress and all Labour affiliates to join hands. Adding this is an opportunity, he said, that should not be allowed to waste. Comrade Ayuba Waba, President, Nigerian Labour Congress LC, on his part said that Nigerians cannot, he said, will never continue to be a consumer nation. He said we need to go back to production, which will tackle unemployment. Corruption is an organized crime against the Nigerian public. Alright, my wonderful people, he also said that protest and strike alone cannot fix Nigeria and called on workers to be ready to work to bring about good leadership in the country instead of strike and protest. Weber said leadership also is about energy and intellectual capacity, and explained that those saying Labour Party do not have structure will be surprised, adding that Labour is already to activate its structure in the 774 local government area of the state. My wonderful people, the other way side, a lot has already been said about Tinubu really said, ignore Peter Obi. Peter Obi that said that All Progressive Congress presidential aspirant has said this, that the party's candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not withdrawing from the 2023 election on health ground. That was said by Peter Obi, as allegedly posted on social media by supporters of a candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi. On this note, the council also asked Peter Obi to quit the presidential race if he has nothing to tell Nigerians. My wonderful people, what more are we going to say? This week has been Tinubu, Peter Obi tackling themselves. This time around, Peter Obi has really come up to say something about this, as Peter Obi's video gone viral alleging that a group reporting for the All Progressive presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu forewarned the Yorubas that a vote for Peter Obi will be a vote for a seaport in southeast and south-south. Based on that, reaching a statement on Monday, the Director of Media and Public Affairs and official spokesperson, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Kayomo, said, "We challenge Mr. Peter Obi to reveal the source and the names behind the nebulous WhatsApp message." Onto this, he said, "We wish to state that it is obvious that Mr. Peter Obi deliberately connected that message and calculated and circulated that offensive video with himself as a campaign strategy in order to come across as victim of some kind of ethnic agenda, whereas in truth it is a real agent vocature of an ethnic agenda." My wonderful people, without wasting much of your time, while we also wish to use this medium to debunk the false and the misleading post on various social media handles of supporters of in the person of Peter Obi that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is withdrawing from the race on health grounds. My wonderful people, it is very crystal to the blood. We are all to carry everybody along as long as this news is concerned. The truth has been that it is very, very clear that everybody is saying the same thing about the health situation of the All Progressive Congress flag bearer in the person of Tinubu, and his health is very crystal to the blind to see. This time around, saying that Peter Obi said that this one happened, something that is very clear, that they put it to him that he was the one that says so. My friends and my well-wishers, the truth has been that all Nigerians are seeing and saying the same thing. Even the supporters of Tinubu knows that he's not strong enough, but the truth has been that we are talking about health challenges and no one knows tomorrow. The truth has been that APC have said their mind that Obi should bring down the post that is made on his page. But my wonderful people, let me have your take on this regard, as that has been on today's. Please send your take on this note and remember to subscribe if you're joining us for the very first time. Thanks and God bless.